Welcome back. The Coordinating Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Investment bolster alliance with the Coordinating Ministry for Political, Legal and Security Affairs. Two parties discussed about the Omnibus Law on sea security to strengthen the maritime security system. Later, the authority to safeguard Indonesian maritime boundaries became full Indonesian Maritime Security Agency's authority.
To strengthen the maritime security system, the Maritime Affairs and Investment Bolster Alliance with the Coordinating Ministry for Political, Legal and Security Affairs are designing an omnibus law on maritime security. One of the important points discussed in the omnibus law is the authority of guarding maritime boundaries in Indonesia to guard against the act of fish theft and the other sea security, such as infiltrations by foreign vessels into Indonesia's water. Coordinating Minister for Maritime and Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, said in the Omnibus Law, sea security will be fully given its authority to Bakamla, or Indonesia Maritime Security Agency. Luhut ensured that the discourse of making sea security through Omnibus Law has been carried out a long time ago, and not because of the case of the claims of China over northern Natuna Sea.
Besok Pak Lambok ini akan memfinalisasi mengenai Omnibus Law khusus mengenai Bakamla.
Poin terpentingnya apa sih?
Ya, jadi satu, semua kewenangan Coast Guard itu ada di Bakamla. Ya, jadi sehingga dengan demikian ada seperti tadi South China Sea, ya tidak perlu TNI ke sana, dan bukan tidak perlu, tidak proper TNI ke situ. Yang proper itu adalah Bakamla, Coast Guard. Itu aturan internasional, karena kalau kita terus TNI yang tampil kok terus kita kok sangar banget. Ya, waktu dekat ini dalam 3 bulan ini. Udah lama itu dibuat, bukan karena sekarang aja. Udah.
Luhut hopes that in the next 3 months, the Omnibus Law will be finalized and will be submitted to the representatives as soon as possible. Hopefully, with these regulations, sea security will be more secure and maintain the integrity of the nations. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
Last week's blunt statement by China's Foreign Ministry on the Natuna Islands were shocking to many Indonesians. In press briefing in Beijing, the Foreign Ministry spokesman insisted that Chinese fishermen are free to fish in their traditional fishing area, which partly overlaps Indonesia's exclusive economic zone. Indonesia is actually always tried to distance itself from the dispute, but this time Jakarta can no longer keep to that position. We have strong belief that within the EEZ, only the Indonesia has sovereign rights for the purpose of exploring, exploiting, conserving, and managing natural resources, whether living and non-living. Therefore, in this segment, I would like to present to you some data regarding China plan to claim on Natuna waters. The first graphic will be about why exclusive economic zone is really important to us as a country. And this one is according to the UNCLOS 1982 United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea 3, or UNCLOS. A coastal state assumes jurisdiction over the exploration and exploitation of marine resources in its ejectment section of the continental shelves, taken to be a band extending 200 miles from the shore. And why it's 200 miles? Because within the distance, there are 90% of commercial fisheries, 87% of oil reserve, and 10% of mangan supply. This one is taken from UNCLOS data. In short, Indonesia's EEZ is an area beyond the adjacent to the territorial sea, where it can extend to a maximum 200 nautical miles, or equal as 370 kilometers off the coast. Theoretically, Natuna is still in Indonesia's territory. The exclusive economic zone is one of the major innovations in the law of the sea. It was born of a political demand strongly expressed by countries undergoing development. Within this area, Indonesia claims and exercises sovereign rights and exclusive fishery management authority over all fish and all continental shelves fishery resources. And don't forget about how United Nations has mentioned several times regarding sovereign rights. means rights which are exclusively exercised by the coastal state. Therefore, it is the only Indonesia that can exploit Natuna. No other state, including China, may pursue any exploitation without its authorization or as per the terms it may have defined. President Joko Widodo should talk with Chinese President Xi Jinping to prevent a worsening situation. But before we go to the further information, the question, what is the actual matter of this case? Let's see the next data. This is the statement that had been delivered in the Indonesian point of view. Violations of Indonesia's exclusive economic zone or EEZ in Natuna waters, including illegal, unreported and unregulated or IUU fishing activities carried out by Chinese Coast Guard vessels. Meantime, for the Chinese, from the Chinese point of view, China's position and propositions comply with international law, including UNCLOS. According to 9-line territory, China has 90% of Natuna waters. And while Indonesia views this as a violation, Beijing claims that Natuna waters are part of their territory called the 9-line. Indeed, the Indonesian government has never recognized the Chinese claim. Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi said Indonesia will never recognize the 9-line. The unilateral claim made by China that has no legal recognition according to the international law, especially in Clause 1982. 9-line is claimed as a South China Sea area of 2 million square kilometers based on their historical maritime rights. The line stretches 2,000 kilometers from mainland China to several hundred kilometers from the Philippines, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Of course, these blunt statements by China's foreign ministry on the Natuna Islands were shocking to many Indonesians. Fish theft by foreign vessels in Natuna waters is not a new thing anymore, actually. Therefore, before China, there was Vietnam. Natuna Sea, which is often the main destination for foreign ship thieves, makes the public wonder about the potential contained in the Natuna waters. So what are the potentials? Let's check it through the next graphic. It contains 23,499 tons of squid, 327,976 tons pelagic fish, and it has 1,421 tons lobster, 2,318 tons crab, and 262,380 tons demersal fish. This one is taken from Ministry of Fisheries data. Natuna saves a variety of potential marine products ranging from squid, lobsters, crabs to fish. It was this natural wealth that made many illegal foreign ships went to Natuna. According to Aryo, as Director General of Marine Management of Ministry of Fisheries, Natuna is often entered by foreign fishing vessels because it is still rare for local fishermen to go to sea in Natuna, even if there is the possibility of only small ships. And not only fisheries, Natuna also has abundant energy resources. What are those? We can see it through the next data. This is energy resources in Natuna. It has oil production as much as 25,443 barrels per day, and also contains of geothermal energy resources. As you can see, this one is taken from SKK Migas data. China knows Natuna is quite a prize. Its fish-rich waters are routinely plundered. Lying just inside its 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone is the West Natuna gas field, one of the world's largest untapped reserves. To protect the sea, Indonesia's military has stepped up naval and aerial patrols of the Natuna Sea area because of a rising number of Chinese fishing vessels in the region. We can check Indonesia's retaliation towards China in the next graphic. This is Indonesia's retaliation over China's claim over Natuna. Indonesia deployed 5 ships in the borderline. And then Indonesia deployed 2 aircraft, reported to Permanent Court of Arbitration, and sent diplomatic notes to Beijing. And we're kind of still waiting for the reaction toward this. And there will be another warships to be sent. So there will be 8 vessels that will be patrolling in the Natuna area near the disputed South China Sea. The development or deployment happened after Chinese vessels refused to leave the area. The Indonesian Air Force and Maritime Security Board, or so-called Bakamla, are also patrolling the area. Indonesia's coordinating minister for political, legal and security affairs, Mahfud MD, reportedly said on Monday that Indonesian fishermen will also be sent to Natuna. About 120 fishermen will sail to the area to counter the Chinese boats, the minister said during a meeting with fishermen from Java's north coast. This action is expected to secure the conflict area. One thing to be sure, the Indonesian government expressly rejects negotiations with the People's Republic of China related to the Natuna matters. And however, China cannot deny that it is one part of the United Nations Conventions on the Law on the Sea. Therefore, Indonesia kindly asks China to respect the implementation of exclusive economic zone. And we're kind of hope for the best for the upcoming conflict resolution. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.